Two top contenders in the legal tech world, Clio and MyCase, go head-to-head. Which one really delivers? On the left, Clio, the powerful, scalable legal practice suite. On the right, MyCase, the all-in-one, user-friendly platform designed for law firms. Let's skip the buzzwords and see how these platforms truly stack up for attorneys in 2025. Each category earns points, and by the end you'll know exactly which platform comes out on top. The result just might surprise you. Okay, before we start throwing around opinions, here's a quick mind map of what we're actually comparing. Pricing, legal practice management features, integrations and ecosystem, automation and AI, security and compliance, client communication, onboarding and usability, and finally reporting and analytics. Stick around for the winner in each category and see if it matches up with what you expect. Let's get the money question out of the way first, pricing. So first up, Clio. Now Clio has tiered plans, which is pretty cool for scalability, right? If you want more advanced features, you can snag them at higher levels, but honestly, even the entry price feels a bit high, and a bunch of extra stuff like CRM, e-signature, and their AI tools, you gotta pay for those separately. It's kinda like buying a fancy coffee, impressive, but all the toppings are add-ons. Now swing over to MyCase. What I love here is its all-in-one pricing. Seriously, most of the big features are just included. No sneaky fees for core stuff. You're not going to get wild customization, but honestly, for a lot of firms, that's a huge relief. So, winner for pricing, MyCase. Alright, let's talk about legal practice management. Clio kicks things off strong with customizable case views and super detailed activity tracking. You get all the robust matter management bells and whistles, but, sometimes if you want to automate the same workflow every time, there are gaps. Not a deal breaker, but it makes you wonder, why is this still a thing? MyCase takes a different approach. You've got a unified dashboard for everything: documents, tasks, messaging, and the workflow is simple and task scheduling is easy. However, gotta admit, if you drop a massive case file in, load times might slow you down. Honestly though, both are solid here. I'm calling this one a tie. Now onto integrations and ecosystem. This is where Clio honestly just flexes. Over 250 integrations: QuickBooks, Zoom, LawPay, you name it. Plus, custom reporting and legal calendaring are like candy for power users. Downside? Setup is kinda complex, and if you live for integrations, you might spend more time maintaining them than you realized. MyCase is more minimal here. Zapier is there for basic automation, and honestly, the built-in stuff covers most needs if you're not into plugging in every tool under the sun. Still, the limited third-party options could be a snag if you're a techie, so integrations champion, Clio. Oh, and here's something cool. Did you know both Clio and MyCase are trusted by state bar associations around the US, but MyCase is actually endorsed by more 130-plus associations compared to Clio's 100-plus. Just a fun fact to keep in your back pocket. Let's move to automation and AI. This one's interesting. Clio offers cool automation features, but here's the catch: they're mostly in the higher tiers or as paid add-ons. Which, I mean, why put the robots behind a paywall? Meanwhile, MyCase slides in with passive time tracking just built in, plus billing and expense management get automated without forcing you to upgrade. There's not a ton of cutting-edge AI here, but for most firms that basic automation is a real-time saver. MyCase takes it for automation and AI. Security and compliance time. Clio is super granular in its controls, role-based permissions, advanced reporting, all that. If you're a bigger practice or deal with sensitive stuff, having these controls is fantastic. But fair warning, setting it all up can take a while. MyCase covers the basics well: bank-level encryption, two-factor authentication, and just enough compliance for most small firms. You don't get those super granular internal controls, but you also don't have as many knobs to turn. For the ultimate in security and compliance, Clio holds the crown. Now client communication. Let's start with Clio. You've got a secure client portal, and if you want e-signature functions, you can add them with Clio Grow, but weirdly, no built-in texting. Honestly, in 2025, that's kinda awkward, right? MyCase hits this one hard. Secure messaging, built-in texting, super easy client intake, and it's all included. No workarounds, no extra purchases. So if you want to reach your clients the way they actually want, it's MyCase by a mile. Okay, onboarding and usability. First off, Clio. They have super comprehensive resources and step-by-step onboarding, but you're gonna notice the learning curve. More initial setup, more configuration, and honestly, if you're a solo or small team, it can feel intimidating. MyCase, on the other hand, is all about that quick start. Guided onboarding, everything pretty much works out of the box, and for smaller firms, that's a huge plus. You lose a little customization but gain a ton of momentum. This category, MyCase just nails it. Now let's talk reporting and analytics. Clio's custom report builder is honestly my favorite thing about it. You can dig deep into your KPIs, track just about anything. Perfect for firms who want those detailed insights. MyCase, meanwhile, keeps it simple. Their standard reports are straightforward, and financial clarity is pretty much a given for smaller firms. Not as much customization, but enough for most use cases. This round, Clio comes out on top. Let's visualize how all those categories stack up. Picture a radar chart with each category mapped out, showing where Clio and MyCase score big and where they drop a few points. You'll see that Clio absolutely dominates on depth and customization, especially in integrations and security, while MyCase shines for price, client communication, and getting started fast. So, who's actually the best here? If you're a larger firm or maybe thinking about scaling in a big way and you need a ton of customization, integrations, or control, go Clio. That depth is hard to beat. But if you care more about simplicity, want to get up and running ASAP, and need those client communication features right out of the box, MyCase is honestly the top pick. It's perfect for small to mid-size firms who just want things to work without all the drama. Was this comparison helpful? If it was, save it for your firm's next practice management decision. You don't want to scramble at the last minute, trust me.